"Mom said Santa forgot us again." The little boy told the lonely billionaire at the bus stop on Xmas night. The city glowed with holiday spirit. Strings of lights sparkled across storefronts, laughter spilled from busy restaurants, and families bundled in scarves rushed through the streets with bags of last-minute gifts. The air was cold, but it was alive, crackling with music, voices, and the scent of roasted chestnuts. Just 2 blocks away, none of that joy reached. At the edge of a quiet sidewalk, under a flickering street lamp, sat a nearly forgotten bus stop. The bench was dusted with snow, the metal biting to the touch. The only sound was the whoosh of the occasional car and the wind cutting through the December night. Mark Grant sat at the far end of the bench. He wore a thick coat, though nothing about him looked warm. His face was pale, weary, the kind of tired that ran deeper than sleep. His dark hair was unkempt, and his eyes, blank and gray, stared into the distance. In one gloved hand, he held a paper cup of coffee, cold and untouched. He looked like just another man waiting on something that never came. Across from him, a young woman sat hunched over, cradling her son. Her long blonde hair was tied back in a loose ponytail, strands framing her flushed cheeks. Her coat was thin, boots worn. Despite the cold, she smiled each time the boy looked up. She rubbed his hands between hers, trying to keep him warm. The boy, around 6, had wide eyes and a red nose. His jeans were short, and his sweater sleeves barely covered his arms. He sat mostly still but kept glancing toward the road. "Is that our car, Mommy?" he asked softly, watching another SUV drive by. Anna shook her head. "No, sweetheart. Just someone else going home." Jamie fell quiet again, eyes still tracking the passing cars. His gaze lingered on the glowing windows of homes, the silhouettes of laughing families, the warmth just out of reach. A gust of wind swept through. Anna pulled him tighter. He leaned into her shoulder. The bus stop fell back into silence. Then Jamie whispered, so softly it barely reached the air. "Mom said Santa forgot us again." The words floated out like a fragile ornament, suspended. Mark's hand froze. He did not drink. Slowly he turned his head, as if drawn by something he couldn't ignore. His eyes landed on Jamie, not with irritation but with something heavier. Something cracked. That voice. That small voice sounded just like hers. A memory came sharp and uninvited. His daughter, same age, same voice, once waited at a window on Christmas Eve. He had promised to be home. She had drawn him a picture. But he had stayed in the office, chasing numbers instead of bedtime stories. He had missed everything. And then, he had lost her. Mark blinked, swallowing hard. Anna noticed the man watching and shifted. She reached to pull Jamie closer, but before she could, Mark spoke, his voice low, careful. "How old are you?" Jamie looked to his mom, then answered, 6. "I turned 6 last week. We had cake from the store. It was vanilla." Mark nodded. "Vanilla's good." Jamie grinned. "Even if the frosting melted in Mom's bag on the bus." Anna gave a soft laugh. "He likes to talk," she said, "especially when he's cold." Mark looked at her then, really looked. At the coat that wasn't enough. The fingers trembling slightly, the eyes trying hard to stay bright. "I could call a cab," he offered. "Get you somewhere warm." She shook her head. "That's kind, but we're okay. We're waiting for the bus." Mark hesitated, glancing down the empty street. Snow was starting to fall again, heavier now. The world beyond the glow of the street lamp felt muted, distant. Something about this scene, the woman, the child, the cold, stirred something in him. A faint echo, a warning, a second chance. He looked at Jamie again, who now sat quietly, watching the snow. And in Mark's chest, something long buried, long frozen, moved. The snow was falling harder now. The flakes, once light and playful, had thickened into a silent curtain, cloaking the street in white. The flickering street lamp above the bus stop barely pierced the haze. Anna checked her phone again, her frozen fingers fumbling to refresh the schedule. Jamie was dozing against her shoulder, his breath fogging the front of her coat. "No service," she whispered, then looked up the street again. Mark stood a few feet away, watching. His breath curled in small clouds before fading into the cold air. He noticed the quiet panic on her face, the kind that lives in a mother's eyes when the world turns uncertain. "The bus isn't coming," he said, voice calm but not cold. Anna looked over, hesitant. "You sure?" He nodded. "Storm's thick enough. They've probably canceled the late routes." She swallowed and held Jamie tighter. "We'll wait a bit longer, just in case." Mark didn't argue. He stared at the snow-covered sidewalk, then said, more gently, "My place is a few blocks from here. It's empty. You could come in, just to warm up." Anna straightened. "We're fine. We're used to this. It's just a house," he said. "No pressure. You don't have to stay long. Just not out here." Jamie stirred, lifting his head. He rubbed his eyes, then looked at Mark and whispered to his mom, "He looks like Santa. Like the one I drew." Anna gave a small laugh. She looked at Mark. He didn't smile, but he didn't look away either. Her eyes moved between the man and the boy, tugging at her hand. She hesitated. Instinct warned her, but another part, older, more tired, recognized something in him. Not threat, but loneliness, the kind she knew too well. "Okay," she said. "Just for a little while." Jamie clapped. "Is it a castle, Mr. Santa?" Mark blinked, then nodded. "Not quite, but it has walls and heat." His house stood on a quiet street not far away. Stone steps, iron railings, wide windows, elegant but dim. A place waiting for something. Jamie ran ahead, boots crunching in the snow. Anna followed, still unsure. Inside, the warmth wrapped around them like a blanket. Mark turned on more lights. The house smelled faintly of dust and coffee, clean but lifeless. No wreath, no tree, no music. Jamie looked around. "Where's your Christmas stuff?" Mark paused. "I didn't put any up this year." "Why not?" Anna glanced at Mark, but he just said, "It's been a while since I felt like celebrating." Jamie accepted that and wandered off. Anna lingered near the door. "You sure it's okay we're here?" He nodded. "Of course. Tea? Coffee? Tea would be nice." They moved to the kitchen, sleek but cold. Anna stayed near the doorway while Mark filled the kettle. Jamie's voice echoed. "There's a big tree in the closet." Mark looked up. "He found the storage room." "A tree?" Anna asked. He hesitated. "My daughter used to decorate it. Before." He didn't finish. He didn't need to. Anna's expression softened. She didn't press. Mark turned back to the kettle. His hands trembled. "They were coming to surprise me. My wife and daughter. I told them not to." The road was icy. Silence. "I didn't go to the hospital until the next morning," he added. "I had a meeting I thought couldn't wait." Anna's eyes welled. "I'm sorry." He nodded. "No one's been in this house since." She stepped closer. "You don't owe me this story." "No," he said. "But I needed someone to hear it." She nodded. "I've lost things too. Not the same, but dreams, plans, family. When I told mine I was pregnant, they stopped calling. I didn't finish school. I work nights. I lied to Jamie about Santa." Mark looked at her. Really looked. Not as someone passing through, but someone who stood where he once did. Anna smiled, just enough to hold back the weight. "But I still try, for him." And in that quiet, snow-lit kitchen, something unspoken passed between them. Two people, broken differently, but broken just the same. The old artificial tree stood awkwardly in the corner of the storage room, leaning slightly to one side, its metal branches folded in on themselves like a forgotten memory. Dust clung to every part of it, and a strand of broken lights dangled from the top like a wilted ribbon. Jamie reached for it with both hands, eyes wide with excitement. "Mr. Mark," he called out. "Can I help decorate it, please?" Mark hesitated in the kitchen doorway, eyes fixed on the tree he had not seen in years. For a moment, he said nothing. The house seemed to still around him, waiting. Then he nodded. Just once. Jamie whooped and turned to his mother. "Mom!" He said yes. Anna gave Mark a careful look, as if checking to see if he meant it. He gave a small nod again, this time with the faintest hint of a smile. Soon, the living room filled with the sound of boxes being opened and laughter echoing off the high ceilings. Jamie sat cross-legged on the floor, pulling out tangled garlands and ornaments shaped like stars, snowflakes, and tiny red mittens. Anna knelt beside him, wiping dust from an old tree skirt with the sleeve of her coat. She glanced up at Mark, who stood behind them, silent, but not withdrawn. "You sure about this?" she asked gently. He shrugged. "Maybe it's time." Together, they unfolded the tree and began adjusting the branches. It leaned, but Jamie didn't seem to mind. To him, it was perfect. He dug deeper into the box and pulled out a hand-painted ornament, a small wooden reindeer with a name scribbled in faded gold glitter. Emily. Mark froze. Jamie looked up, holding it in his palm. "Was this your daughter's?" Mark nodded slowly, his voice caught in his throat. "Yes, she made it in school. 2nd grade." Jamie smiled and held it out with both hands. "Do you want me to hang it?" Mark stepped forward. He took the ornament, stared at it a long moment, then knelt down beside Jamie. "Go ahead," he said quietly. Jamie rose to his toes and carefully placed it on the highest branch he could reach. "Looks like the most important one," he declared proudly. Anna watched the exchange in silence. Her eyes were damp, but her smile was soft. A few minutes later, Jamie found an old music box in the bottom of the bin. It was chipped, the paint faded, but when he twisted the key, it still played a simple, familiar tune. Soft notes filled the room. Silent Night. Jamie began to hum along. Then, without fear or hesitation, he started to sing. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. The melody echoed gently through the house. His voice was clear, young, but carried an odd maturity, like he understood exactly what the song meant, even if he couldn't say it. Mark stood frozen near the window. The sound hit him like a wave. That same song, his daughter's favorite, was the last thing she sang to him over the phone that Christmas Eve, just before they left home to surprise him. His throat tightened. He didn't move, couldn't. Tears welled in his eyes, and before he could stop them, they spilled freely. He didn't bother to hide them. Anna looked up and saw him standing there, trembling, undone. She didn't speak. Jamie kept singing. When the song ended, the room fell into a tender silence. No one moved for a few seconds. Then Jamie turned to Mark, eyes wide with curiosity. "Do you miss her a lot?" he asked. Mark wiped his eyes. "Every day." Jamie nodded solemnly, then dug into the box again. He pulled out a small, wrapped bundle, an old toy, a stuffed bear with a frayed ribbon. Mark smiled faintly. She loved that one. Jamie held it carefully, then hugged it against his chest. "Can I keep it?" he asked. "Just for tonight?" Mark looked at him, heart swelling. "Yes," he said, "you can." Jamie beamed. "So, Santa remembered me this time, huh?" Mark chuckled through his tears. "Yeah," he whispered. "I think he did." The scent of tea drifted softly through the kitchen, mingling with the quiet hum of the old heater. The house was still, but for the first time in years, it did not feel empty. In the warm light of morning, the cold edges of Mark's home had softened. Anna stood at the sink, her sleeves rolled to her elbows, carefully rinsing out the mugs they had used the night before. Her blonde hair was tied back, a few strands falling loosely around her face. She moved with practiced grace, quiet and calm, as if cleaning someone else's home was something she'd done 100 times before. Mark stood nearby, uncertain. He shifted from foot to foot, then slowly stepped forward. "I can help," he offered awkwardly. Anna looked over her shoulder, surprised. "You don't have to." "I want to." He glanced at the dish towel hanging on the hook and grabbed it. "Just tell me what not to break." She laughed, a soft, real laugh, and handed him a clean plate to dry. They stood side by side at the counter, passing dishes in comfortable silence. Mark glanced at her, then said, "Jamie seems happy here." Anna nodded. "He's a good kid. A lot better than I deserve." Mark raised an eyebrow. "Don't say that." She shrugged. "I mean, I try. I really do. But sometimes I feel like I'm just keeping things from falling apart, day to day, bus to bus." He was quiet for a moment, then said, "You're doing more than that. I've only known you a day, but it's clear. He looks at you like the world." Anna smiled, looking down at the mug in her hands. "Thanks. That means a